What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here for my keys to the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Miami Dolphins. This is a game that I think will be dictated through both teams' run games. Now we start with Ajayi, who had a huge game against the Pittsburgh Steelers the first time around. He is going to be probably the biggest X factor in this entire game, along with Leveon Bell. We all know what Leveon Bell can do. We all know that he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's very patient. He's the best running back in pro football. But what about Ajayi? I mean, Ajayi was the reason why the Dolphins won the first time around. If the Steelers can slow him down, they have a couple of guys back in this game that they didn't have in that game, which will be pretty key. But also, can Ajayi keep the chains moving? Can he get solid production all day long? Can he pick up 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry consistently? Can he move that offense? And specifically in the red zone, once they get to the red zone, can he push the pile and get into the end zone? Because that's going to be a big thing with the Steelers. Against the Steelers, especially in Pittsburgh, you need to score touchdowns. Ajayi is going to be the biggest player for the Dolphins in order for them to win this game. I think he's the X factor on both sides. If you could stop him, you probably win. If you can run him, you'll probably win as well. So let's go to the Steelers offensive line versus the Miami pass rush. I think this is another key to the game. If Miami can get some sort of pass rush with Cam Wake and Ndamukong Suh and those guys up front, then this will disrupt a lot of what the Steelers are doing. They can't run the ball all day. Eventually, they're going to have to throw the ball. And with Antonio Brown, I know that the coverage out there in Miami is not very good. So if Miami can get a pass rush, then that will kind of provide a screen or a smoke screen to how bad their secondary is, because their secondary is not very good. But if Cam Wake can get after Big Ben, if Ndamukong Suh can get after Big Ben, then they'll be very successful in defending the pass. I do have a feeling that Big Ben will have a good game passing the football, though, because Miami has not been very good in that category. We then go to Matt Moore's composure. Now, a lot of people aren't talking about Matt Moore in this game. It's mostly Ajayi, and that's fair enough. I brought him up already. But Matt Moore, what his composure will be like? He's never started a game in the playoffs. Will he be able to, embrace the bright lights and play in Pittsburgh, a tough place to play, a good home field, and keep scoring with Big Ben? If it becomes a shootout, will Matt Moore be able to continue to score? And I think Adam Gase has an awesome offensive scheme. I think they'll have a good game plan going into this game against the Pittsburgh defense. I expect Matt Moore to have a pretty good game statistically. I'm just not sure if he can keep up with the Steelers. We then move on to the red zone scoring of both teams. I brought this up earlier. It's red zone scoring. Can you score in the end zone, in the red zone? Because that's going to be the biggest difference. Miami, they might be able to move the ball from 20 to 20, but once they get into the Pittsburgh's area and side of the field, will they be able to put it into the end zone? So that's going to be a big difference, because the Steelers, they're going to put it in the end zone with Leveon Bell, Antonio Brown. Will the Dolphins be able to put it in the red zone? That's going to be a huge difference as well. Can they go point for point with the Steelers if possible? And then the home field. The kicking is bad in Pittsburgh, specifically in one end zone. It's very hard to kick. They're going to have their best day on special teams and in the kicking game. If the Dolphins want to win this, they might have to get a punt return or two. Nice punt returns, not necessarily touchdowns, but nice field positioning from Jarvis, Landry, and those returners as well. So for me, it's all about Ajayi and Leveon Bell. Then it's about the offensive and defensive lines. You gotta, of course, pay attention to Antonio Brown. On the other side, you gotta pay attention to Jarvis Landry, who I think will eat against the Steelers. And Matt Moore, is he going to be composed enough? Red zone scoring is going to be important, and of course the home field of the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I had to guess this game, I'm going to lean towards the Steelers. I think they will win this game, but the Dolphins can make this competitive, and it might be a close one. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's the keys to the games from Mitch. Peace out.